For a while, you're creating your characters. The unicorn killer comes to life, and then we tangent enough.
That's yeah. So then I came back and I did a series called The Gray Zone. I did it with a wonderful host, this lady called Fat Cat. Highly raw, very X-rated. Like we went to Toronto when Toronto had the All-Star game. I think it was 2014, and we did a brunch, and then we invited our friends. We rented out a two-floor condo, and we invited our friends. We had a brunch, and then we did 2 episodes. I think it lasted about 3.5, 4 hours. To get people to stick around to listen to you talk, 2014, to listen to you talk.
Well, you did a live podcast.
Yeah, in Toronto, we filmed. I still got pictures and shit. We did a brunch in the evening, and then we did a podcast after. We had about 25, 30 people at a condo in Toronto overlooking the city. All-Star Weekend, 2014. And then we went partying after. We went to Luxy.
Hold on, how did that work? Was it because I mean, theoretically, that's the future of this medium to me is that, but like in bigger stadiums, did it work? Was it like a good event?
Yeah, I'm a good event. People came through. I'm like, I was shocked that people stayed and listened to people talk. But yeah, we put the table. We had the brunch, and then we put the table in the middle. We had it all set up. We had the camera crews, and then yeah, we did the 2 shows. I think we did one about sucking dick and eating ass.
It's a good episode topic.
Oh, you look good. That's interesting. So yeah, we talked about sucking dick and eating ass for an hour and a half, and then this girl said she was hungry, so I think she's like, yeah. So I just swallowed all this cum because I was hungry and I wanted a Big Mac and I couldn't get what I wanted, so I swallowed this cum. And I remember the whole room because like she was kind of like she's my homegirl though, but she kind of out there sometimes. And I remember the whole room hearing that and was just kind of this. I was like, yo, this is why you fucking do live podcasts.
So it's wild.
This is the vibe. This is the energy you're looking for.
Bro, you got my brain going in directions I wasn't thinking were live. I'm like, yo, as much as I wonder if I don't know if I could sell a rap concert. I wonder if we could sell some shit out, like.
For sure. You could do for sure you can do it. Yeah, so you have people sit all around you and it's a whole different energy because now you're in the moment. And sometimes my brain moves so fast. So I get these blocks sometimes. It's like, yo, where was I going with that? Because my mind is always just like, yo, because this is what I really love. This is why I'm at home. But I also understand once I've given this everything, once I've gone what I need to get out of it, I'm at the lake house, B. I'm at the lake house.
I don't know, man. I feel like if I was at the lake house, like, I'd still want to do this shit. Like, I just, like, maybe in my 60s.
No, I'll do it for fun. But, like, I won't still go beat the trail. I'll still do it for fun. I'll always have a mic in a studio. I love this shit. This shit's lovely.
But like, I don't know. I've never gotten this as like, I don't really get paid to do this. I still got the job, right? So like for me, it's all like the passion project of this. And I'm like, all I can say is this is like, you learn so much from this shit. I don't know that I could give up this source of learning. Like, that's the hard part where it's like, yo, I could go do some other shit, but bro, like every one of these conversations is fucking jacked. I walk out, my brain's flying. I get to experience a bunch of different things. But
we collect stories. We collect stories, and it's a very privileged position to have where you're collecting all these stories, and you're someone that people entrust. People have to get comfortable with you to open up and share certain parts of themselves. Because ultimately, as a host, that's what you're trying to get, right? You're trying to get some good gems that people can relate to, that's still saucy, that's still fiery. People got to feel fucking comfortable with you. People got to be like, yo, here's a good bedside manner. And that's a gift that not all hosts have. Everybody doesn't have that.
That's fair. I mean, I could say I had to learn that shit. You go watch some of my 2017 shit, you'd be like,
no, for sure.
Trash. But even then, my early interviews was garbage. I remember for a fact, Pre-Chankobi hits me up and he's like, bro, let me tell you one thing. You're dealing with rappers. Maybe you don't know this, but when you're dealing with rappers, you kind of got to be a little bit of take over the fucking conversation and own it. Otherwise, the rappers are not going to respect you. And I'm like, fair enough. And I'm like, all right. And then I walked in all different. It took a couple months to get the swagger on board, and then I was like, oh, say word. This is my shit. Fuck out of here with your opinion. I mean, I want your opinion, but like, oh, you think I could be that's cool. You're here, though. And then you got to think about how are you going to be on other people's shows, which is a wild thought. Like that's a whole different vibe.
Yeah.
I'm a terrible
No.
guest. I talk way too much.
Yo, well, first of all, I never got invited on people's shit. And the few times that I did, you kind of sense sometimes someone's like, oh, fuck. He feels like you're stealing his light. But like, this is just my natural energy. Like, I'm just lit like this. And then there's other times where you kind of think to yourself, like, okay, oh, fuck. Now I'm going to be interviewed. Like, what is my vibe? Now you kind of feel like, okay, so is this how people feel when they're about to sit down with me? Is this the kind of brain thought that they kind of go through? But it's weird to be on the other side of it when you really do it on the other side. Yeah. It's like, oh, fuck, I got to answer the questions? Okay, this is different.
Nah, I like do a lot of research though. So like I'm going to walk in and have an angle of attack. And like I figured like I'm going to just I want to be memorable. Like you might find me an arrogant asshole a little bit. Cutting off people and dominating the conversation anytime I'm a guest on somebody's show. But like that's also part of the game a little bit. How did you let me do that? It's like being at a cipher. In a cipher, you have to like cut in or you're not gonna be allowed to rap, right? So like with that, it's like I take that mentality. Oh, say word, you're gonna let me talk? Okay, I'm gonna steal that the whole time. And then, but make sure I say shit. Like I did the Hustle podcast, but I knew that I spent like 3-4 weeks planning what the fuck I would say before I walked in. I had it plotted in my head. The questions weren't relevant. It was just, I knew what I was coming to say. I was like, oh, say a word. This is what's going down.
And you felt comfortable because like, I prepared for 3 weeks. I know what I'm going to, what I want to say. Yeah. I'm coming in. No, I never know. I'm excited to know what the interviewer is going to ask me. I never know. I never know. People don't invite me enough on their shit.
I basically don't plan it. I'm like, fuck that. There's too much effort. I'm like, I can make this up. I can just freestyle the whole thing. I tried it on the first one and it worked, and I never stopped trying that. But for real though, so you do your Great Zone show. You talk about the wild shit. You prove the concept of live podcasting before anybody famous is proving this concept, which makes you a fucking innovator.
I'm sure somebody.
How did you get the idea?
No, I'm sure I've always liked Jay-Z when he does like Rock Nation brunch and stuff like that. I've always thought that was dope to get like a whole bunch of like fly influential brothers and sisters, hip hop urban heads in the same room together. Let's toast up. Let's celebrate our culture. Let's celebrate just good black business. And I was like, yo, and let's have a dope conversation. Like, I kind of mixed Taste Masters with a live show and blended it together. I just wanted to do a brunch. I'm like, yo, one day I was there like, yo, how come we can't have a brunch? And I remember someone in my crew was like, yo, that's true. And I was like, yo, let's do it. Let's have a brunch. Like, who? When I brought it to the man, I'm like, yo, I'm going to have a brunch. All-Star Weekend. We'll do it in Toronto. Motherfuckers are like, what the fuck are you talking about? But we did it, and it was fly.
Yeah,
I have pictures. We have movies.
That's like innovative as fuck. That's cool. That's hella cool. Like, I don't care what anyone says. That's like people is not doing a thing, and you are the guy that does this thing. That at least here, people, let's say I pulled that shit now, people are gonna be like, oh, like Wizzy did it.
No, they'll be like, oh, like Drink Champs. But yo, man,
I don't know about that, man, because Drink Champs came late, right? Like,
yeah, I came way after. But yeah, when I was doing it, I wasn't even thinking about that. I was just like, okay, I was more worried about, oh fuck, now we're doing this live. It's not like before where it's just me and whoever's on the show. We film it, we record it, and I put it out. Now there's people around, so there's other elements going on in the environment. People that are listening to what you're saying. So my co-host Fat Cat, she was so fiery. It's a real argument. Like we're two fucking shinobi warriors. It's a real argument. She's fucking throwing shots at my ego, fucking me up. And there's a whole bunch, I'm trying to talk to this girl after the fucking podcast. Fat Cat here batted me up, talking about all kinds of wild shit. Now, it's a whole, like, your ego's on display. It's a real war, and you're in a room. Your man's them is there. You're out of town. It's being filmed. And she'll be like, okay, boom. It's just conversation. What's always helped me and what's worked for me, I just focus on who I'm talking to.